Oh. Hello. Right, welcome back. So today, now I've got the worktop in, I'm going to mark all that out and I'm going to cut the worktop out, you know, the top down storage. I'm going to do that today. Also today I've got a couple of bits to do on the engine side. I've got a leak out of one of the rocker covers, so I've got some new gaskets for that. And also I need to change out the oil pressure switch. Remember a couple of episodes ago where I wired that up back to front and volted it with 12 volts and blew the thing? Well, yeah, I've got another one of those to replace that with. So yep, okay, yep, I know, I'm getting around to it. I'm ticking those things off. And then lastly, we've got the ceiling to do. I'm sick and tired of teasing you guys episode after episode after episode. Today we make a start. I've got some wood for the battens, I've got some plywood now to do the actual arches of the roof, ceiling. So yeah, okay, yeah, I'm making a concerted effort now. I want to get this finished. Yeah, I've been doing it for too long and it's doing my head in. So before we start, first we're going to start on the worktop, engine and then ceiling. But before that, pause the video now, go and grab yourself a cup. Well, it's a bit hot for a tea. I've got myself a shandy, so help yourself to one of those if you've got them. If not, a lemonade based non-alcoholic drinks are available. And I'll catch you, I suppose we'll drag the worktop out onto the floor and we'll start cutting it. I've got a fancy little tool now that I think might do the job or ruin it completely. I mean, it only cost me 200 quid. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, that's the first cut. It takes a bit of practice, but the way I've done it was I marked it out with a pencil and then I taped either side. Whether or not that helped or not, I have no idea. However, what it did help was it protected the other wood, the other pieces of wood, so that if I did just slightly nick off course or if it did jump out, I would be able to catch it before it had the chance to cause any damage. The tape would protect it to a certain degree. It's not a catch-all, it's not a remedy for everything, and it wasn't bloody perfect, but it's done. I've been trying to work out how to do that for weeks, and it spent me about 2 hours of practice with this. I bought this today and about 1 o'clock, I got home about 2 and I've been playing with it since then. It's nearly 5 o'clock. And then I can fit this worktop permanently and it's in the van and it's never coming out again. Alright? Alright. Oh, thank God that worked. Okay, well, it's safe to say that the second cut was, well, the first cut was better than the second cut, I think. There's a couple of little nicks, but and the blade had gone pretty dull, so this burnt a lot of the wood as it was cutting on this one. But both the cuts are done now. What I'll do now is I'll cut in, so I separate these pieces completely, and then I can sand both edges. Then, well, all edges really, so they're nice and smooth, and there's nothing gonna get no splinters in my hands. And then I just need to get some hinges on it. So yeah. Always gonna need some sanding. But this can go in the van now. How am I gonna do that without snapping these bits? I have no idea. Careful. Tools in the way. Camera stand is in the way. Oh, bloody hell. Oh no. Camera reinstated. Okay. Okay. Wow. And that is depressing. I didn't think about that brace. You get it. You visualize it in your brain. So I've got to stain these, stain the underside of these because you'll be able to see it. Hinges. Yeah, buddy. Nice. Oh, good damn. Oh. Don't really fit. Oh. Get in the thing. Okay. Ugh. So I'm not just drilling straight into these. I'm pilot hole first with a drill bit, slightly smaller than the screw, and then screw this screw. You get it. You get it. These are quite easy to get to. Not quite sure how I'm going to do along the back here, quite awkwardly, but I think it'll be fine. Be fine. Yeah, be fine. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a couple of little hinges, but the thing is, I've also got some bead to run along the back of the thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, you get it. But unfortunately, that means that it's going to clash with where the hinges want to go. So what I'm doing at the minute is I'm just recessing the shape for the hinge with a hammer and chisel so that the hinge lies flush with the wood and doesn't interfere with the feng shui of the bead. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. Yeah. You can see where I've gone a little bit too hard there, and I've split this wood slightly just on this side, which isn't too bad, but it's a little bit of a shame, but it will be covered up by the bead. So yeah, a little bit of cock up, but it's not the end of the world. These should sit pretty flush now, so that lets the bead sit on top of them. Where are we? There you go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Boom. Perfect. This is higher this side, and I don't know why. Maybe I need to take some more off. maybe here. But for now, time to go to the pub. Don't know what that is, but it's pretty old. Anyway, back to this. Okay, not perfect. This corner's sat a little bit further down. I knackered drilling the holes for this, so it was like binding, and it's not perfect. But it's functional. I might get some magnetic push down debris so that obviously when I'm driving and going over bumps, that's not doing my absolute head in. Alright, cool. So looking at this, you can see this is leaking pretty badly. So I'm going to pop this off. And then that's what we're looking at. Okay. So it's just flat. Sound, I can peel that off and replace that. Other side looks really dry, so I'm not too fussed about the other side. So I'll wait for this to drip off and then swap it out. Sat in the shade, so I almost broke my rule. Before you take the old part off, you always make sure the new parts fit, which this does, so I'm going to whip this off and change it now. You can see here somebody's used like Super Eterno gum, which I've had to scrape off, but you don't need anything massive. You don't have to put oobs and reams of sticky stuff on it. I just put a couple of blobs of instant gasket around there just to hold it in place, to seat it. The cork does the job for you. That seals the whole thing. You don't have to murder it, all that stuff. Right, now that's done. That took me all of about 3 seconds. I'm going to whip it back on, and then I need to swap out that sensor. Okay, so I've took the cover off to get at the switch, and you can see by the colour of it, that's a white switch. Now there are different oil pressure switches depending on the colour, depends on what the threshold is for that switch to activate. But it is my understanding from using the internet that all engines have a blue switch, all of them. Because there's two oil pressure switches. There's the low oil pressure switch, which is usually 99.9% of the time blue, and the other one, the high pressure switch, is different colours. That's my understanding of it anyway. So I'm going to swap this with a blue one and then see if that works. Okay. Good. Great. Let's go. What size are you? It's a 24 and you need a deep socket. I haven't got one, so I'm just going to struggle. There she is. Brand spanking. On this grey one, white one, it says 0.3 to 0.15 bar. So I'll check that against the credentials of the blue guy and see if they're any different. But yeah, don't know. You don't. Some people say you have to drain the oil to do this because that is a through hole into the crank and oil will come out. But if you're quick, it's only a small hole. If you're quick, you might get a little bit of seepage. But yeah, you don't have to drain the oil to do this. So yeah, now I've got to put this lovely thing back on now, which isn't a pain in the ass at all. I promise, it's lovely. I love it. It's that time. Ceiling. So I've been and got some inch by inch 25mm squared battens. My plan, as with everything up to now, has been to plywood it. So I'm going to run battens either side, drill them into the metal inner metal bits, and they can act as battens. So drill them in from this way, and then drill the plywood up to these to the bottom. Once I've done one side, drill the plywood to it, and then push it up, measure it as best I can, even though I'll try and measure over a little bit, I think. Push it up in the middle so it meets, and then drill it from this side. I might need to get Harry to give me a hand there, but we'll see how we get on. I've got the drawers sorted. Missed the measurement on the beading. I'm about a foot short there, which is a shame. So I'll have to cut and join it here. I did get 2 of them, so I've got enough to do that. So I'll probably cut it, join it here, and then glue that in. But for now, ceiling. So what I'll do is I'll cut these first. They don't have to be exact, just as long as they fit in that gap, that gap, that gap, that gap, that gap. And I suppose one at the back and one at the front as well. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. 3 foot. So 41.5 times 2, 3 foot times 2, and 26 inches. So 26, 3 foot, 42. No, 41.5. Right, okay, let's go. Don't break off. Okay, is that going to hold on? Feels good. Bang one in the middle and we're done. I don't remember where the holes were. We'll just go there. Good. Solid as a cock. Oh. Easiest way I've found, because I've only got one drill. It'd be nice if I had a drill with a drill bit in and one with the screw bit in, but I don't. Is to do one, drill one hole, and then screw that side. Drill one, screw one, and then you can drill along and then screw. That's the easiest way of doing it. Oh, God damn. I could hang off that if I wanted to. Oh, just the other 2 to do now, and then back and the front. Now for the back and the front, it's curved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them to size, and then I'm going to leave them in a bucket of water overnight, get them nice and wet, and then screw them in, and then let them dry naturally, and they should, at least it'll be able for me to get them into the shape and secure them, and then leave it then. I'm in 2 minds whether or not to do the same with the plywood before I bend it, screw it, because I'm thinking if I soak it, it'll expand, and then I don't want to do that and then drill it into place and then for it to dry and shrink and then it to crack along the edge. I don't know. New territory for me, haven't got a clue what I'm doing. But I'm definitely going to wet these for the back and the front. Plywood, unsure, probably not. Yeah. Right, next, we'll go that way. So I'm going to try and make a form now, because I've been soaking that piece of wood for a couple of days in water, in the old water butt, and I want an inch curve on it. An inch curve on it. So I'm going to create 2 anchor points, and I'm going to lay the wood out, and then I'm going to create 2 further, well, another anchor point here, so that it curves and bends the wood. Now I want these on the inside, and then I want these on the inside again. So as long as these are in the same place, and then we've got our wet wood. Now I don't know how well this is going to go, but we want, yeah, how am I going to do this? So I'll need to anchor this side first. Let's try, let's see if we can. Well, that's there, and now we want an inch difference. So it wants to be, let's say there. I mean, this complete, I'm making this up completely as I go. Oh wait, you take it. I feel like that's too much. Is that an inch? I have no idea, but it's kind of working. I need to get this screw in here. Okay. It's not in the centre. First observation. You take it away. No, not that one, that one. Yeah, away. So, yeah, overhang this side, which is not cool. But it's fine, it's not an exact measurement. I can just whip that off there and then have centralised this arch. Right, now I'll put another couple of screws in there just to secure it, and then I'll wait for it to dry, and then it should hold that shape. Should hold that shape. Bloody hell. The best way to do this is with boiling water, really. You're supposed to, I've watched a couple of videos of old cart wheel makers and stuff, and they boil the wood so that it gets really porous and it cooks all the way through, and then they bend it and it's like rubber. It's nothing. But of course I couldn't really boil one of these. All I had was that water butt, so I just left it in there for a couple of days and then turned it around, left it for a couple more days, and yeah, I still had a dry end, but yeah, it should be all right, I think. That'll be interesting if it works. Never tried that before. Huh. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it'll work? Hey? You're only interested in your piece of wood, aren't you? Bloody hell. No. You didn't see that, okay? Didn't see it. Shit. Oh. Oh. Okay. I still need to cut those corners off. Have I got the right length though? Yeah, right length, width on this bit. I can't tell because I need to cut those 2 corners off and those 2 corners off. Oh, Logan, have you got a pencil? No. Okay. 2. Sod it. Go in here. It's like a, is it a long graduate? Oh. Come on. Oh. I've done almost this entire project with this saw, this Spear & Jackson. The only other saw that I've used is a small two-way saw, like a mitre saw, which is in there, and I've used that twice on the worktop because it was nicer wood. I wanted a nicer cut, nicer finish. And that multi-tool as well, which the plunge cutter thing, which I used again for the worktop. But everything else has been done with this. Right, the classic cutting curves with a straight saw is pretty bloody awkward. But what I do is I start at one point very slowly, and then I'll cut in a straight line, and then I'll start in this. I'll show you in a second. And then I cut another straight line, and then I'll just keep eking that straight line round, and then I'll finish it off with a sander, basically. Not as good as the other one, but you get the gist. Yeah, buddy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill along one side, and then I'm going to drill into these, drill along this side, and then drill these sides, and then this side last. Happy with that, so I get a full shape. Good. Happy with that. Oh, need that. Because now this would have pulled it all taut this way, and now I'm left with a bit of a gap there, but that's okay, because at least I know that it's gonna fit. Yeah, I'm sick of waiting for the material, so I'm gonna cut these to fit them, right? And then when the material comes, I can take these down, wrap them, put the lights in, lighting, and then, psh, in fact, I've got the lights here. Okay, cool. Okay, so if that's the case, what I want to do now then, before I cut my second piece of ceiling, is I need to fish these into, right, I'll show you what I've got planned with the electrics. So these troughs here that run back into the van, these are connected inside this pillar down into the battery box. So my plan is to wire fairy lights, drill them down and wire them through the ceiling to this Bakelite switch, and then back through here down this center column into the battery box. I might not be able to do that because I've quite selfishly plyboarded all up here, but what I could do is I could just wire them to this switch and then wire this switch directly to the vehicle battery in here. I could just drill out the battery box into this pillar and then pull them up, which is what I'm probably going to do, I think, because it's only LED. They're only 12 volt LED lights, so not going to be a massive draw, and they'll only be on for night time for a bit, I guess. Yeah. I've been saving these. Nice. I'll need a couple of those, right? Please. Right. I love these old Baker light switches. They're really easy to operate as well. Really easy. I'm not sure if you can see that. So it's just a switch. Ran off like a tense piece of metal that's under tension, and there's your plus and minus, or your in and out, and it connects or loosens them off. I love it. So I want to undo this wire coat hanger. These are great. If you've not got some of these, get some. They're brilliant. And what I want to do is straighten it all out. Kneel on a screw, hurt yourself. Then you can start working this through, and when you've worked this through into wherever you want to go, you can attach your cable onto it and then pull it through. Okay, so I've been playing with this for about 10 minutes now, and I had to take it out and put a couple of other bends and stuff in, but yes, where's that screwdriver just gone? So I've got my connection now from here. Let's get it on there. Not ideal. Put too much tape on it. But there you go. There's your wires through. Happy with that. Bloody. Okay, so this is how I've done it. Rather than going down there, because this is outside of the van, this space, so I can't just drill out of the. This is like the edge of the battery box. I was hoping to drill through into this pillar, but I can't. So this would have been a lot easier if I'd have mounted this switch here. But I mean, there we go. We live and learn. So I've gone in through a hole there, up. I had to fish it out through here, and then coat hanger in there all the way up. And there was a small hole here, but I had to drill a hole in there and drill a hole there because these were blanked off. And now I'm pulling it through this air vent, and then I've linked from the second hole to this air vent here. I'm going to pull this red wire through, link that, and then that's my live. And then I've just earthed the lights here. Nice. Yeah, that'll do. Don't break anything. Not tired of nerve. Right. Now I need live to that wire. Not going mental here. 16 amps, way too much really, but should be fine. So now, with any luck, And I really hope this works. When I flick this switch, these should come on. Oh yeah. I'm so pleased with myself. And this is it, right? This isn't a show off. And this isn't a, oh look, I can do everything. It's not. You can do this. Any one of you at home can do this. I am completely making this up as I go along. These lights, I know, need a plus and a minus. And there's the minus and there's the plus down there. I'm just doing what I can with what I already know. And there's nothing different to what you can do at home. Okay. Well, it's been drying now for about a day. Nice. So it has got a curve on it. Let me see if I can show you properly. It has got a curve on it. So let's go and see if it fits. Right, now that's done. It's a bit windy today. I've done the ceiling. Ceiling's done. You might notice that this one I've had to make out of a couple of different pieces. That's because I couldn't commercially buy plywood that was more than 4 foot wide. And I'd done this one, I'd done that one. I didn't have enough wood to do this out of one piece. And so rather than spending 30 quid on another piece of massive plywood when I had loads of offcuts, I decided to just make it out of this. All I did was use some check plate, I suppose not really check plate, but metal with holes drilled in it, and screwed it all together, supported it, and then ground all the screws off. And it's in place. This is all going to get felted and then upholstered anyway with the material, so you won't know really. But it's in. Alright, yeah, it doesn't look, the angles, the lines aren't perfect, but again, it's in. Yeah, don't look at that bit. But it is in. So now all I've got to do is, next step is to mark out where I want the LEDs. I've got them wired in. I've got 100 LEDs on that, and it's 12 meters. So I need to mark 100 dots out with a permanent marker, and then I can drill the holes for them. And then take these down, upholster them, fit the lights, and then fit it all to the ceiling. What do you think? Okay, so I've decided to spread them out a little bit, and I'm quite happy with that. We'll miss out the cab, because I mean, don't really need them in here anyway. I've already got that guy over there. Beep, boop, beep, beep. So I think that's where we're going to go with it, I think. So I'm going to mark out where these are, and then when it comes to upholster it, then I can drill all the holes for these guys. All this wiring will go on the inside, and I'll drill down the holes for these, and I can glue them in place so that only just enough is poking through the wood and the material, so that you can see just enough of it so it's hidden inside the material. Okay, happy, good, because I didn't want to rip all this out and then have to rewire all that with coat hangers and stuff. I just, yeah, we're not doing that again. Hello. So I've just dropped Harry off at work, and the throttle pedals come off. So I've had to sort of hoodwink it back into place. So I'm just going to nip to my dad's garage where I can take the floor out and have a look and see what's going on, because this is not very hard to drive. Right, let's grind that out. Get some new metal in there, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't see it underneath. There's like this mat which is made up of like bits, and then there was rubber mat on top. So yeah, wouldn't have known, wouldn't have seen it. A couple of holes drilled, don't know by who, maybe previous owner or original, don't know. And then yeah, of course these always go here, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to wait. I can get a section of this, get it off Just Campers or Brickworks or Heritage or something, and then just weld it in one piece, and it's done. Then I don't have to worry about it. But that I can do right now. Oh, let's get a new piece of that. Bloody. Oh. So I've cut a piece of aluminium to just cover all of these plastic pipes and vital bits and bobs so that I don't melt anything I shouldn't be. And then I can weld to my heart's content then. Yeah, I'm not a welder, just spot welded and then tried to seam it as best as I could. Yeah, I'm not a welder, so you can judge me all you like, I don't care. So I'm going to paint this and then drill some new holes for the actual pedal, and then put the mat on it, and then forget it. Just forget about it. Like it was never there. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. I can see not before long I'll be in here again. This lip's on its way, and these have started now, so I'll buy a couple of these pieces. In fact, I think they're whole pieces here, and I'll weld the whole piece. I'll do the other side as well because I know that's on its way. Yeah, right, I'll wait for that to dry. Drill 2 new holes for this guy. This looks like it was replaced not that long ago. Usually they break along this rubber, but this looks reasonably new, and the screws look reasonably new, so they've just screwed that into rust most likely. I don't know, but it'll be all right now. It'll last for a few more years at least. Right, so I was deciding on how I was going to do seat belts for the back. I had to look at putting winders at the back and then having extra long seat belts, then click 2-point, 3-point contact things, and it's got really complicated really quickly. And I quickly realised that with the way the setup of the thing is, I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay, long story short, so I've just got a couple of these, which are just a couple of lap belts. I mean, it's better than nothing, and it makes it legal if I want to have passengers in the back. And I mean, it's, you know, I thought it's only health, it's only safety, isn't it? You know, it's only somebody's life. So I went for the cheapest ones and spent 12 quid on the 2 of them. So, you know, that should be, you know, should cover all bases in the courts, you know, Your Honour. Comes with the 2 seat belts and the 4 bolts. I'm just going to make sure, because I'm not sure if seat belt bolt threads are universal. They might be, maybe. If not, I've got a couple of others that I have in the tub. You know, when I strip the whole van to pieces, you always have a tub, don't you? With all the bolts and nuts and bolts and washers and weird stuff in there. So I should have some in there. I have painted the threads of these welded in. Okay, yeah, no, these are going to work. These are going to fit. Alright. So I'm going to fit these. Yeah. Because that's it. I'm going to do that now. So coincidentally, I've finished off, well, you've seen, I've finished off the plywood for the ceiling. So I've got the panels all done, and I've drilled the holes for the lighting as well. what I also did yesterday was I went out to get the material. Now I know I promised you guys a big shag carpet, and it was a little bit heavy really, and I couldn't get it to, I couldn't find the right material. And then I decided, what about like a faux fur, you know, like a wolf faux fur thing. But then to find the right material that was fireproof and the amount of stuff I needed, it was going to cost me like 400, 500 quid. So I couldn't go with that option. And so I've decided on similar to this, but it's a bit, I'll show you now, 2 seconds. This is the stuff. It's like a teddy fluffy stuff, but it's quite thick. And I've got enough, it was like 20 quid for one of them, and they're 2 meter squared for both of them. So for 40 quid, I thought that's not too bad. And I've got enough to do the whole roof and maybe a little bit more as well. Now, I was really worried about the joins, because that's why I wanted something big and fluffy, because you wouldn't be able to see the, you know, you could blend in the joins pretty well. But it looks like what I'm going to have to do, that if there is a really obvious join that upsets me, I'll have to just get a strip of plyboard and then upholster that strip so it just covers the join. I think that's what I'll end up doing. Anyway, I digress. Before I start that, I need to go out and get some glue. I've got a glue gun, license to stick, but I've only got about half a stick in there, half a glue in there, so I need another couple of sticks, because once I've upholstered this, once the roof is down, upholster it, I'm going to hot poke the holes for the lights, and then I'm going to hot glue the lights in place. So I upholster it, drill it, glue it, light it, and then fit it all in one go, and then it's done. I don't want to upholster it, fit it, take it down, drill the holes, fit it, take it down. I don't want to be faffing around. I want to do it all in one go. So I'm going to go and grab some more of these, and then I'll have everything I need to do it in one go then. English? Yeah, that makes sense. And then I'll do it, and then it's done. And once the ceiling's done, I can have a look at the door and the floor. Yeah. Right. I'm gonna get some glue. Oh. Okay. Right. So it's been about a month now, almost, where these have been. I've cut these to size and I've drilled them in. They've been fitted into the fan, right? And through the heat cycles and humidity that we get through summer, well, the arse end of summer, I guess, these are now quite nicely holding the shape of what I want them to be. So I've got the same spray adhesive that I used on the seats, and I've got some material that I'm reasonably happy that I want them to be in. I'm a little bit dubious, because when I did the seats in the van, that's a flat surface, and I had foam, so I could pull this material tight over the foam. Whereas in this, I haven't got that. I entertained getting like an inch thick. So I'm a little bit worried, because the seats were flat, but this surface is concave. And yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the efficacy of the glue, the spray adhesive, because once I lather this and stick this on, when it gets hot, I'm concerned the glue's going to give way and I'm going to end up with a big old roof nappy. So if that does happen, I don't want to use the staple gun at this stage, but if it does happen, staple gun will probably come out. The stuff's thick enough so that I could probably staple it and you could fluff it. You wouldn't be able to see the staples, but you'll be able to see where it's, yeah, you'll be able to see if I start stapling stuff. So I want to avoid that if at all possible. Hopefully, it's all the warnings about heat are the can. Don't expose the can to direct sunlight and etc, etc. So, I mean, I'm going to do, it's the same old problem. I've never done it before. I have no idea how this is going to go, so I'm just going to do it. And if it all goes wrong later, I'll have to change it. So, let the time lapse begin. Okay, I mean that doesn't look too bad. My other concern was that the glue, how the glue would affect the material. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I can already see some bits where I need to pull it forward. So that looks pretty okay, so I need to tighten that bit a little bit, but the rest of it, happy days. Now my only worry, the only problem I can see now is when I come to drill this in, I'm going to be struggling looking for the holes, which is a little bit annoying, but it's no biggie. I can just drill a new hole. I'll just put the screw through it, it's only wood, and then I can fluff it up, cover the head of the screw. No one will ever know. Well, you guys will know. So yeah, let's go and fit this and see what it looks like, I suppose. Come on in. Is this right? Yeah, that's right. It's hard to remember what I've done and which way around things go. Oh. That's the one. There's the fucking money shot. Okay, kinda. Yeah, I think we'll get away with that. Right. Metal screw, which I've just dropped, which is great. Is this a wee too tight here? Have we got enough room there? A wee too tight? No. Okay, I think we're good. Metal screw. My arms are starting to kill me now. This is gonna look cool. It's gonna look real cool, man. Right, there's the edge. There's the edge. So I'm looking for, I can feel the hole already. Ooh. Okay. Excuse the strimmer noise, it's 2 o'clock on a Saturday. So I've upholstered this now. This is the central piece. This is where a lot of the lighting is going to start from. And I need to make some holes in the underside of it without ripping it all to pieces for the lights to poke through. So all I've got is a hole punch, something to hold that hole punch with. Happy with that. And I got myself license to blow my own eyebrows off. What we're going to do, heat this up. It doesn't have to be red or anything, just so that it's hot. And then I'm going to poke that through. Beautiful. I'll get you round so you can see. Right. I'm really glad that's worked, because I was worried about that. That was the only thing I was concerned was going to look either good or it was going to look absolute pants. But no, I'm pleased. I'll get that out of the way. I'll get the last one done. And then same again. You get upholster, burn the holes. Yeah, cool. Alright. Yeah, so. Look at me, I'm so fucking tired. I take a better hole in the firmament. Ain't gonna die, hero, better out, this is real. No, not me. Okay. So now I've got everything upholstered. I've got it laid out ready. So I've got my start of the lights. Come on. It's quite a long cable till it starts. Light number 1 is in hole number 1. Where are you? Gooey. So I've got the glue gun warming up now. I'm going to hot glue these in a line. And then the only awkward part is I'm going to have to keep these quite close together, because as soon as I glue these together, glue these lights in, I'm not going to be able to separate these two pieces. So I'll glue them in, and then I'll fold the piece in half, the two pieces together, and then I'll have to somehow try and sandwich them together, fit this one whilst having this one dangling, and then fit that one. I don't know, I feel like I'm probably going to have to cut into this and extend it in between the two pieces. We'll see. I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll see how it goes, okay? Good. Okay. The only problem with this is, is that I can't stop it. So I'll have to pull the, yeah. Am I happy with that? I'm happy with that. Stay there. This is... What do you think? Stay away from the glue gun, please. No, away, in the dark. This is going to be pretty awkward. This needs to go. Not got enough room. Oh. I need to, like, okay, right, yes, maybe, okay, like an out, okay, yeah, kind of, go easy on the wiring there, okay, we're kind of nearly sort of maybe coming in. Okay, we are, for all intents and purposes, in. Okay, we're in. So my plan, without breaking the wires, obviously, is to put this centerpiece up and sort of have that back one dangleberries a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to put the time lapse on because I feel as though it's going to be a little bit of swearing, and I'll try my best to keep it PG for you guys and gals, obviously, you know, chaps and chapettes. Anyway, yeah, time lapse time. Okay, so 7 o'clock, but I wanted to show you this. Oh, pretty cool, right? Bake light switch. I'm glad this is done. Ah, oh, yeah, cool. So, I know it's been a long one, but I mean, I've had a lot to do and I haven't had much time to do it in, so I've had to do it in stages. And so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the long video. Next is going to be, it's going to be the cupboard door for the storage just next to the fridge, and I'm going to sort out the flooring as well. I've got some solid wood floor to put in. Those are the last couple of little bits, and then all little nitty gritty stuff really. If you've enjoyed this, go back and watch the other videos where I've took all this from, bought this as a rusty van with a few little problems with it, and I've stripped it all out, stripped all the paint off, painted it, had the engine out a couple of times. Go back and watch it, man. If you want to have a look at the journey, I am not a welder, I'm not a painter, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a gluer, I'm not an upholsterer, I'm not an interior guy. I'm just a bloke and this is my hobby. But I do these videos more really to remind myself what I've done, but also so I can show you guys that you can do it. All right, yeah, it's not perfect and there's a couple of things that I've done wrong and there's a couple of things that I could do differently. But ultimately, you could do this. Classic cars are pretty cheap. Go and grab yourself one. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.